Hello, I'm Wilka Toppings with Toppings Consulting Group Vietnam and Toppings Law Firm in Houston, Texas. I'm a U.S. licensed immigration attorney as well as a corporate attorney with over more than 35 years of experience. Today, I want to talk to you about some of the stuff that you're hearing about EB-5. Some of the things that I also hear about EB-5, and I wonder where this information is coming from. I want to bring you some clarity. EB-5 has been around since 1990. It is not a new program. It is also not a scam. Some people say it is a scam. It is not a scam. It's a law, it's a legal process in the United States authorized by the US Congress since 1990 and later reformed and repassed one more time in 2022 as the EB-5 Reform and Integrity Act. These are laws enacted by the US Congress and the US legislature, as well as signed by the President of the United States. You can find information about EB-5 on the USCIS website. So it is not a scam. It is a law that's been around for over 35 years. Thousands of families around the world have benefited from the EB-5 program. I also sometimes hear that EB-5, you can get an EB-5 with $200,000, $300,000. That is not true. The legislation is very clear that the investment must be either $800,000 if the investment is made in a company that is creating jobs in a rural designated area of the United States or a target employment area. And those are defined terms in the law. Or is $1,050,000 if it's in an area not rural and not TEA, target employment area. So it either want 800 or $1,050,000. Now the majority of the EB-5 applicants opt for the 800,000 option. And there are many investment projects in the market available for the 800,000 rural and target employment area. So it's not 200, it's not 300, it's 800 or $1,050,000. That's the law. Of course, a lot of people say, well, EB-5, if you invest in an EB-5 program, the government can take away your green card. Well, there's a lot of that conversation going on. I have been doing EB-5 now for 16 years successfully. I have processed hundreds of families with EB-5. I have never had a single family who has suffered what people are saying is going to happen. None of my clients have ever had the green card, quote, taken away or revoked. Taking away a green card or revocation of a green card is a very serious matter, and it happens for specific reasons. For example, if the person has committed a crime in the United States, or if the person obtained their green card through fraud or misrepresentation, like lying to the government to get it. In that case, you may be subject to a revocation of your green card or an elimination of your green card privileges. But the EB-5 investor is not involved in any of those situations, so there really is no reason why a green card would be revoked or terminated. The other thing that I hear a lot that is not true is that you must live in the United States at least 6 months. That is not in the regulation anywhere. It is a recommendation. There are many factors that go into play about what makes somebody be able to retain their green card, even though they may be absent from the United States for some time. So there are many factors such as whether you have a house or a place to live in the United States, whether you're paying taxes or declaring your income in the United States, whether you have significant family ties in the US, whether you have bank accounts, activity, business in the United States, and how frequently you visit the United States. In short, you must demonstrate that you have the intention to reside permanently in the United States, although absences from the United States are permitted so long as they are reasonable and explainable. Now, there is a mechanism by which you can be absent from the United States for more than 1 year, up to 2 years. There's a mechanism, you can fill out a form called the I-131, and that you can announce that you're going to be absent for an extended period of time, and that will protect your green card status. But the bottom line is, it's actually very difficult to lose your green card or to abandon it. What happens is you would be presumed to have abandoned it if you are absent for a long time and you don't have any ties to the United States. None of the things that I explained before. In that case, you may be presumed to have abandoned it, but it's a presumption that you can overcome with evidence. So don't listen to the 6-month rule necessarily as the only rule that would protect your green card in the event you're absent from the United States. Talk to a reputable, experienced lawyer like myself, and we can guide you in your specific situation. The other thing that I hear quite a bit is that people will never get their money back. As you know, the EB-5 visa is an investor visa in which you will invest in a new commercial enterprise at risk, and with the expectation to receive that investment back through whatever the regional center or the developer has explained to you on the corporate structure, how the payment is going to be made, whether it's going to be repaid as a loan or as an equity, or however the structure was. You're going to get your money back, or you're promised to get your money back. So countless families have been receiving their investment back through the EB-5 program. Now, clearly the law requires the investment to be at risk. Like any other investment that you make, if you and I put a business together in the United States or in your home country, nothing is guaranteed. We're going to have an investment at risk. The business that you and I put together may work or may not work. We're going to give it our best. And we both go into the investment knowing that it is at risk. It's a business investment. Nothing is guaranteed. However, what we're going to do, you and I, when we do a business together, as an example, we're going to evaluate, we're going to plan, and we're going to study the type of business that we're getting into to understand what we're doing. That's no different, not exactly what we're going to be doing with an EB-5 investment. What we recommend to our clients is to investigate, analyze, study, ask questions, and understand the investment that you're making and where is your investment going. This is where we, reputable lawyers like ourselves at Toppins Law Firm and at Toppins Consulting Group in Vietnam, we can provide you assistance with the due diligence of the project, as well as guide you towards asking the right questions so you know exactly what you're doing with your EB-5 investment. And that way you can maximize your chances of recovering your capital invested. That's the goal. Get the green card and get the investment back. So those are some of the things that we're hearing about, and I want you all to know that there's no easy way to get a green card. There are many ways to get visas, but green cards really is a very, very narrow path to get a green card. You either do it through a family sponsorship, you're born in the US, or you make an investment like EB-5, or you pursue one of the merit professional-based green card employment visas. And those can take years, like the EB-3, sometimes 5 to 6 years. The family immigration green card may be possible for you or not, but some countries have significant delays, sometimes 5, 10, 14 years. And then of course the EB-5, which is the fastest way to get a green card in the United States, other than being born in the United States. We're right now looking at 4 to 6 months of processing time. This is clearly the golden area of EB-5. And you have until September 2026 to take advantage of this amazing opportunity. Thank you so much for your attention. We'll talk to you soon.